Well, gCADPlus offers a very simple way of generating a plant schedule. That's a list of all the species used in the design and the number of instances of each species required to fulfill the design. And to generate the plant schedule, here's a design in the metric area, so our units are in fact millimetres here. If I want to generate a plant schedule, all the tools for generating a plant schedule are found in the gCADPlus drop-down under Plant Schedules and Lists. And if I move to the bottom, there's another fly-out menu which says Draw a Standard Schedule. And I'm asked for the height. I'll leave that at 200, and I'll say I'm going to draw the schedule from there. Whoops, I'll just repeat that because I need to hit the Enter key. Now I can input the corner of my schedule and the alternate corner of the schedule, and there the schedule is drawn. So any species in the design can be identified. So clearly the darker shaded tree, small tree down in the bottom left is Eucalyptus scoparia, the Wallengarra white gum, and we need 3. Over here in this area to the left are a whole series of sago palms, and gCADPlus has counted that we need 15 of those. So if we add more, the number will increment. The Lamandra seascape is the one used to border here. We might decide, for the sake of argument, that we want to scale that symbol down a little, and then we might want to copy it some more. So we'll copy, and paste some more in. Previously there were 7. Now when we update the schedule, there are now 10. So it's a very handy way of managing your plant schedule. Now the same approach is adopted in the USA imperial system, and we'll swing now to another design designed in feet as our base unit. Here we are with a design from the US, a sort of sustainable edible garden design. So on the right is the plant schedule, and we're working in decimal feet as our unit. So if we zoom in on this soft fall path and measure the distance across the path, it's some 4 feet, wide enough for someone to walk. So the trees that have been specified in here are rather large trees, and breadfruit and star fruit and so on. So this symbol here represents the star fruit. So we are relating in this instance and identifying species being used by listing them in the first column of our plant schedule. I'll just show that you can swing to a background colour of white, and that can be a little easier to see the design. The design calls for a constructed wetland through here with lots of, with a long shoreline which helps in cleansing any water, and there's a trash wrap and recirculating pump in that zone through there. So there the base units are decimal feet. Previously our base units were millimetres, but the approach to generating the plant schedule is exactly the same. gCADPlus, plant schedules, plant schedule, and draw the standard schedule. Should you want to draw a schedule with custom content, you can do so. Click on it, and you are asked, if you look down in the command area at the bottom of the screen there, we can include the plant symbol yes or no. We can put a red marker in if we want to copy the marker and place it in the design to help identify zones. We can have a code, a 2 or 4 letter code to identify a plant if we want. We could include the botanical name and the common name, have them underneath one another or drawn as they are in the standard schedule. It's possible to print the common name under the botanical name and so on, and away we run the standard schedule. I'll just cancel from there. So that shows you, I hope, that gCADPlus offers this quick and easy way to design and to generate the plant schedule to go with the drawing. What I want to show now are that there are a series of tools and steps that you need to take in order to generate that plant schedule, and they're all contained under plant schedules and lists. Here is a list now of all of the tools that you're going to need to use when you are setting up a drawing for the generation of the auto schedule. The first step in setting up an environment so that the plant schedule can be drawn is to attach a data file. So it's plant schedules and lists, and we attach a GCP file. We pick it, and that enables you to browse. You might have one called Edible Garden or one called Debbie or whatever. We provide a number of sort of sample ones there, but we would expect that you create your own. There is the list that's currently associated with this particular design. You can see it contains some 400 odd species, so let's close from there. They're the ones that are used in southern Australia, commonly with a fairly big sprinkling of native plants which are water efficient. If you look down in the status line at the bottom of the screen, the path and name of the currently attached GCP or plant database file is there. Next thing we need to do is to assign a particular symbol to a particular name. Now let's click here, and I have a plant species selected. It does appear as Eucalyptus scoparia in the table, but just say for the sake of argument I want to change that to another species. I can say gCADPlus and remove data from plant. Do you want to remove it? Yes, I do. And OK. Now if we updated the schedule, it would remove Eucalyptus scoparia. So in order to run a automatic plant schedule, every symbol that you need has got to be assigned to a particular species. So let's reassign that one. So gCADPlus will set data to a plant, pick the species that I want. Let's imagine I want another eucalypt. Maybe I might want to pick by common name, so I could sort my common name. The list is now sorted on common name rather than, and you notice a small glitch there because pink sunset tea tree starts with an apostrophe there or a quote. It bobs up in front of the African iris or agapanthus. But I can scroll down here and change the name of that species. We'll set it as the desert ash and say OK, and we're done. So now that species has been assigned. I'll just widen the command area because we have another tool up there called Show Species Tag, which I can click on it and it shows me down in that area that is indeed the desert ash. Its code is FRAN. I've taken the first two characters of the generic name and the first two characters of the species name to make my code, to try and keep that as consistent as possible. So I mentioned that you just use all these tools listed here to manipulate the assignment, checking and reassignment. For example, there is show symbols with names. That shows us that all of the symbols in this design have indeed been assigned. So we could now update the plant schedule. So let's do that. Update the schedule. And the new name, Fraxinus angustifolium, the desert ash, is assigned to that symbol. So I hope you can see that we have all the tools that we want here to set things up for us. We could search for a symbol by name. If we couldn't quite remember it, we could say, search where is the Fraxinus, and hit enter, and it shows the symbol highlighted. So I hope you can see that those tools will help you greatly. If you wanted to, as we did mention before, if you wanted to draw a custom content, have different components, you might want a code showing in here, you can use the custom content one. But I won't run through that just at the moment, because I want to also show you that this system allows for what we would call smart labeling. I've made a few smart labels, and I'm going to turn on a layer called SmartLabel now. And by smart labeling, I mean that the individual species now can be identified by its code. So let's come around here, and the code here in fact will be incorrect because we changed that one. So it's the Fraxinus, it's the desert ash. So we can say gCADPlus smart plant label. We pick the symbol, hit enter. I'm reading the prompts down in the command area. I'm going to label it with a leader. I indicate the first point, and I'm saying yes, I'm going to pick up my code. Do I want the botanical name? No, I don't. I don't want the common name. I don't want to count how many instances of it there were. And in goes the, oh, I must have said yes to that. Let's kill that and do it again because I didn't want the count. So let's use our smart label tool again. Pick it, enter, enter. First point for the line here. Yes for the code, no, no, and no, and in it goes. So we've now labelled it correctly. You may notice that the labels over here have a little horizontal line. Some people like that approach, and if I select one of these previously labelled ones and look over here in the properties, you can see it's got a landing distance of 150. So if I pick that new leader that we've just added and have a landing distance of 150, we'll get that little horizontal tag to it. So the smart label tool picks up the assigned name. We could have labelled that grey honey myrtle, as I've done over here, where that's the Melaleuca incana, the grey honey myrtle. So I've said yes to common name. Here I've said yes to botanical name. So the smart label tool is designed hopefully to work the way you want to work. So we hope that all of the tools that you need to manage plant schedules are there. You can edit your plant list and add extra. You can remove individual entries in your plant list, and you can save your plant list and give it a new name and a more meaningful name for you. So we hope that you like that smart label tool.